Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, and we're going to talk about the continued changes, some would say collapse of DC Comics, DC Universe, and all of the DC content that's coming to HBO Max now. DC Universe is definitely collapsing, and now it's going to become a comic book portal, a digital comic service, kind of like Shonen Jump, I guess, is doing, where they have the Shonen Jump app for $1.99 a month, and it's all you can read. It's not necessarily a bad move, but it shows that DC Universe as a separate streaming service for TV shows is done. It's over. Everything's going to HBO Max, including a new season of Harley Quinn. We're going to talk about that. Before we get into it, guys, please give us a sub if you haven't done so already. Helps the channel grow immensely. We just passed 140,000 subs. Thank you so much for that. Hoping to get to 200,000 hopefully by the end of the year. That'd be cool. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but it'd be pretty cool. We'll take 150. We'll take 150 by the end of the year. All right, so this is coming from the website formerly known as Newsarama. Newsarama is just a tab on Games Radar right now. That's how important comic books are, comic book news sites are to digital media at this point. So DC Universe service is switching to comics only in 2021 as DC Universe Infinite. DC Universe Infinite steps up with direct competition to Marvel Unlimited and cedes the DC TV film to HBO Max. So this is kind of what we were told. We were actually told this about a year or so ago. We had some Warner Brothers people come to us, or people familiar with the situation. Rather, I don't think they were currently with Warner Brothers. But they came to us and said, what's going to happen is eventually all of these brands are going to be, once HBO Max launches, everything's going to be put into HBO Max. That this is all about, them shoring up HBO Max to be a competitor, a legit competitor with Netflix. And they can't have like umpteen different streaming services. They want to put all their eggs into one basket, and let's hope the handle doesn't break, right? But this is a really interesting move to turn DC Universe into a digital comic book streaming app. And what does that mean for Comixology? I don't know. Is it, or the big two, are they just going to do their own thing now? Shonen Jump's doing it, and it's working out really well for them, I think. I think it's working out well for Viz. I know the Shonen Jump app is definitely one of my favorite, probably my favorite comic book app at this point. $1.99, all you can read, so we'll see. So the DC Universe streaming service will be rebranded in 2021 as DC Universe Infinite, with a focus exclusively on comic books. With the TV and film content the service has accumulated over the past 2 years becoming exclusive to HBO Max. Marketed as the ultimate comic book subscription service, DC Universe Infinite will expand DC Universe's digital comic catalog to include the recently launched digital first line of comics, new comics exclusive to the platform called DC Universe Infinite Originals, as well as quicker 6-month turnaround from a comic book's original release and its addition to this flat rate digital reading service similar to Marvel Unlimited. All the comics will be downloadable. So this is coming from Jim Lee. Of course, they have Jim Lee talk about it because Jim Lee is only there for street cred, I think, at this point. Our fans love the platform's robust library of comic books, and with the transformation, we will not disappoint, said Jim Lee. I'm excited to share that not only will DC Universe Infinite members still be able to read all the great comics they've enjoyed, but new issues are debuting on the platform quicker than before. Digital first exclusives are being created, and members only events will begin as soon as possible. There's never been a better time to be a DC fan. You want to get to that member first. So DC Comics Universe just going all in on comic books and all the content. Basically, all the important stuff is being moved to HBO Max. This is coming from Hollywood Reporter. Titans will be among the originals set to make the move to HBO Max, which will also now be the home for DC library titles like Wonder Woman, the original Wonder Woman, among others. So the streaming wars has claimed another victim. 2 years after it launched as a home for scripted originals and library content, DC Universe is officially exiting exiting the scripted landscape, and transitioning into a comic-centric platform because it doesn't freaking matter. That's the thing. This is what's important to Warner Media right now. The TV shows. So like, oh yeah, we'll just say we're doing something with comics and we'll just push the comics over to the streaming app. And if it goes belly up, oh well. Oh well. But there is good news that comes with the change. All the platform scripted originals and library titles will move to HBO Max. That includes Harley Quinn, which has been renewed for a 3rd season. So Doom Patrol and Titans are going to HBO Max, and Young Justice and Stargirl as well. So yeah, this just shows how Warner Media is going to streamline all of their operations. And we've got several Warner Media videos coming up over the course of the next couple days now that sort of illustrates the fact that they're gonna pare everything down to HBO Max. And they've said as much. They basically said, like, everything right now, everything is about making content for HBO Max. And I have to wonder if things like, Genlock at Rooster Teeth, it's only being allowed to run its course because it's content for HBO Max. And once they have enough content, and once they decide they don't need Rooster Teeth anymore because they have umpteen other animation studios or whatever, then they just pull the plug. That's what I think is going to happen, personally. So this is coming from Jim Lee last month. The original content that's on DCEU is migrating to HBO Max. That's the best platform for that content. Of course, he said that the amount of content you get, not just DC, but generally from Warner Media, is huge, and it's the best value proposition. We feel that's the place for that. So yeah, they're just shutting it down as a separate streamer. It's just a comic book app at this point. Very interesting move, and I think it's basically, this is like one step away from just pulling the plug entirely. Like, well, we'll give it a shot. We'll see if we can, drum up some business, just throwing some comic books on there. We really don't need a lot of people to maintain that. But HBO Max is where everything is at for sure. And God, they've even got DC Comics pimping HBO Max. Remember the god-awful HBO Max comics they did a couple of months ago? I mean, that's what DC's basically just making content for the streaming service at this point. So everybody's going to be. Rooster Teeth, Crunchyroll, they're all just making content for HBO Max. That's what it's all about. And that's what's going to be the kill shot, I think, for the comic book industry as we know it, is the streaming wars. I think the streaming wars might actually kill off the direct market, the American comic book industry as we know it now. I don't know. I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.